let's liven it up and spark the blunt.
Liven it up. It's lit.
It's lit, literally. All right, let's talk about Lighthouse.
Let's talk about Lighthouse. Let's talk about Robert Pattinson in Lighthouse.
Yeah, should we give a synopsis first?
Yes. If you haven't seen Lighthouse before,
it's kind of it's not old, but it's not new. It's like
2019.
So like 2-3 years old, but I feel like pandemic time like is different.
Right.
It's like what good movies came out in the pandemic? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't know. That's another thing beside the point. But so 2019 film, black and white.
If you can stand to watch black and white. I know some people are not very partial. Like my sister refuses to watch black and white movies.
I hate people like that.
My girlfriend also. You heard it here first, folks.
But I'm like, why not even just give it a try?
Right. It's like it doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
Right,
like just because the color.
It's a stylized choice.
Right. Exactly. That's how I feel.
We could have made this in color. We chose not to.
Exactly, and like that. I'm glad you can appreciate that. And it's why our dynamic works very well, especially on this show.
I think that some people don't appreciate art.
It is art. You're right, 100%.
I feel like I don't know.
But you know, there's always going to be people that are on the opposing side.
Yeah, but I'm sure they appreciate their own types of quote unquote art, but like they don't kind of appreciate art in all forms.
Right. You just pick and choose.
Right.
It's like a selective bias.
Yeah. But that's beside the point. Yeah. That's beside the point. All right.
Not shitting on these imaginary people.
Yeah, imaginary people.
Yeah.
So 2019 film has Robert Pattinson and
Willem Dafoe.
Only
2 characters in the show.
Yeah,
or in the movie.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about
show. It's a good movie.
And it's about this dude. Robert Pattinson plays like this new guy.
Like a hand. Like
That's coming.
What would you call it? A work hand or something like that?
Yeah, like a work hand that's coming to watch over the lighthouse with this.
Maintain the lighthouse.
To maintain the lighthouse for like it's 4 months or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
A month that they're supposed to
I think it's a month, yeah.
So he has 4, it's like in the old times, 1800s type shit.
And the way it's set up is very like, like it's just like an agreement that they have with somebody that they're gonna get paid if they stay out. You know what I mean? It's not like it's very like an old way of like doing things. You know what I mean? Like today you would have to have like OSHA people like checking in on that. You know what I mean? It's like back then it's like you're gonna live on this island if you don't fuck shit up by this amount of time. You know?
Right. So basically, this dude has a job where he has to live on this island with the lighthouse, maintain the lighthouse. But he has to live there for a whole month with this other dude,
and the other dude
is like kind of his boss, basically.
Right, exactly.
He's like the overseer, and he basically tells Robert Pattinson's character like what to do.
And he's William Dafoe.
And the other dude is Willem Dafoe.
Gotcha.
He's like the older dude.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just refer to them as the younger dude and the older dude.
Yeah,
That's probably the easiest.
Yeah. Because we already know who they are.
Yeah, because they end up having the same first name.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard.
But he comes up with a bunch of nicknames for him throughout the movie. You know what I mean? But it starts off pretty like it feels like a slow burn at first. It's like what am I getting into? I feel like from what I remember,
it's kind of like those things that drop you right into the plot. Like there's no exposition.
Yeah, it's very like cryptic in a way where you kind of have to piece it together as you go along.
Right. And it's like they use old timey language and shit.
Yeah, like sailor talk and stuff like that.
Sailor talk, for sure. And it feels like a play to me. That's what it felt like.
Why'd you spill your beans?
Yeah. Why'd you spill your beans? But should we get into some of our favorite scenes? Bless your sweet soul.
You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Man, it's a good thing COVID ain't going around anywhere.
I just coughed right in your mouth.
All right, favorite scenes.
When he's tripping about the mermaid, it's like the hands are like going down. You know what I mean? And like
where he's having the dream.
Yeah, but it seems real. Yeah, it seems super real.
But where he fucks the mermaid, though, right?
Yeah.
And, like, the middle of it turns into, like, a makeshift vagina.
But you find out later that it's, like, just a deck of cards or something like that. It has, like, or, like, it was just, like, an image of a mermaid that he was, like, jerking it to.
That scene in the shed?
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
Just whenever it's, like, it shows the flashes of the mermaid.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That was a weird scene.
And it's just, like, that is, like, a metaphor for his, like, I don't want to get, like, you know, pretentious with it, but it's, like, a metaphor for his loneliness. And, like, you know, sailors would see manatees and think they're, like, mermaids and shit and, like, want to fuck them. And so it's, like, a siren thing, but also I think...
I was doing, like, a little bit of, like, very light research on this. And I guess that...
Wikipedia articles?
Yeah. And, you know, YouTube deep dive.
Yeah.
And I guess that, like, mermaids and lighthouses are, like, intertwined.
Okay.
As far as, like,
Imagery.
Stories go and imagery and stuff like that. Like, do you remember that Disney movie, The 13th Year, where the dude turns into a mermaid?
Yes. That's a classic.
That is a classic.
Classic.
I was about to be like, damn, you really don't know that one?
You had that like locked and loaded. You're like, I'm like, yeah, I have seen that. You're like, damn, you ain't really seen this? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
But you know, he turns into the mermaid, but that has a lighthouse in it too, and like there's
does it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's been a while since
I can't
I've seen
remember
it.
any of the other like correlations, but like lighthouses and mermaids like go hand in hand, like in like sailor lore or whatnot. So
I think it's because, just off top, lighthouses are for ships to like lead in to the shore, and mermaids are like typically also associated with sirens. Like sirens, they like lure you into the rocks. Like
I mean,
so
like in Homer's Odyssey, the mermaid sirens,
right? Exactly.
Like they
Sinbad,
like seduce them and shit.
Yeah, it happens in Sinbad too. Like he's
So
a
it's,
pirate.
like, constant imagery of that.
And like they tempt you in a way that makes you
They're
like
the horny police.
right. Yeah. We're the horny police.
I can't be the horny police.
You can't. Yeah. You actually turn in your gun and badge right now.
Yeah, I'd be the most crooked cop.
Yeah. You'd be the Denzel Washington of
the horny police.
You'd be the King Kong of this motherfucker. All right?
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
For real.
All right. Let's stay on top.
My bad.
Was it just me, or were you getting like homoerotic tones from this movie? Like an old time Brokeback Mountain.
Just because of their like one moment they'll be screaming at each other, and then like the next they'll be like drunk and like dancing and like singing with each other. And...
Well, that. And
but it's like
there's that one scene where he's like fixing the roof.
He's like, get the fuck off of me, right? Or something like that.
No. He's fixing the roof, and then he's like spying on the old dude, and the old dude's like jerking it. He's like sitting in the bed.
Yeah.
Like humping the bed.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it.
And then there's that part where they were drunk, and then they were like dancing and shit, and then they were like looking deep in each other's eyes, and then it looked like they were about to kiss, and then at the spot where they were like this close, they were like, ah, and like we're about to fight.
Yeah. I think that's like a theme. I think that's like in there on purpose because it's like the trials and tribulations of loneliness.
Right.
I
think it's like, never mind. Go on.
That's like if we're talking in a literary aspect, like there's like an overall theme. There's a couple of themes going on, and I think it's the big thing is loneliness, being alone, and the psychosis that comes along with that, and crossing your boundaries that you wouldn't really cross in everyday life. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're on this island alone. Nobody's gonna know. It's just you and me. We're kissing, right?
Right.
You heard it here first, folks. Got his ass. Hey, Donovan, horny police PD. All right, I'm bringing you in. I'm citizen's arrest.
Damn, you're like that cop that was like, how much have you had to drink today? And he's just like,
Fuck. I'm like, we got one. I'm gonna need backup.
anyways,
I'm gonna need backup, please.
let's stay on.
2 cruisers.
Okay, what do we think about the? It wasn't really a plot twist, but what do we think about the dude's past, like weird past? The younger dude,
and
because partway through the movie, so throughout the whole time, the whole month, the older dude's calling the younger dude just boy.
Right.
And then when he gets mad, he's like, "You dog," which has pertinence later.
Winslow.
Right.
I cast a curse upon you. And he's like that whole scene. He's a good ranter. William Dafoe. He's a good actor.
Yeah. But and then halfway, no, the last week or the last night, it's towards the end of his stay. And then he's like, "Well, you should call me by my real name, like from now on." And then he tells him my name is like Ephraim Winslow, right? And then the storm hits, and they get stuck there, and they don't know how long they're gonna be stuck there. And then they talk about what I don't get is they talked about, hey, we should start rationing this food, and then but they don't give a fuck about rationing the liquor.
Right, because if you're gonna get drunk, you might as well get fucking plastered.
Yeah, but I'm like, whatever.
You're not gonna take a shot in the morning, and it's like, all right, we'll take a shot at like tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like,
but if you're rationing food and you don't know when the next like people are gonna come for you, like wouldn't you start rationing the liquor too?
I feel like, have you ever met somebody who's like a legit alcoholic? Like legit, like once they start drinking, they force themselves to continue drinking.
Oh yeah, I have a cousin like that.
I've worked with people like that. Like I've had coworkers where it's like they can't just have one drink. You know what I mean? They can't just get a sip of liquor because then it's like they get this like parched for liquor. Like cotton mouth. They're like.
Okay, I got you.
This episode.
So you're saying these dudes are drunks?
Yeah, and you're alone on an island. Like you're bored. Like all you do is chores.
Okay,
right.
I see your point.
You've got like 4 miles radius.
Right, but then at one point he's like, But when they're talking about rationing the food, the dude's like, "No, we haven't even been here that long," and then the younger dude's like, "No, like we haven't even been here that long," and then the older dude is like, "What the fuck are you talking about? We've been here for forever."
Right, like weeks.
Right, and then he's like, "You tell me how long we've been here? 5 weeks."
And then
5 years,
and then they start like,
right, shit starts getting trippy after that. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, that's when they get drunk, and then he's like, "Well, tell me that you like my food." And he's like, "Nah, I'm sick of your shit."
Right, he's like,
and then he curses him. Right.
Right. He was so offended by it. Right.
And also, what you remember? What causes the storm?
He kills the
seabird.
Seabird.
He kills the seagull.
Bad luck, right?
And right. The night before the day before he's supposed to leave, and then there's a storm, and then they get stuck. And then that's when shit really starts to get weird. So I feel like their frame of time or sense of time starts to get all messed up.
Hot take, ready? Mm-hmm. They're in purgatory.
I can see that.
They're like in hell or like in purgatory, and they're like, this is their punishment for the sins of their past. And they both are just like, it's like that episode of Black Mirror, whenever that dude's in the cabin with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, tell me about your story, man. Yep. And then he's like, how did I get here? How long have I been here?
Okay.
And he's like, you know what I mean?
I can kind of see that.
It's like hell.
But what pertinence does the light have? Because the older dude keeps saying like, I'm only gonna work the night shifts because I want to work the light.
There's obviously imagery there, right? Like what does the lighthouse represent?
I feel like getting back to our earlier conversation, the lighthouse represents what you were saying. Like if you ever were to like lay your eyes on God or like feel His presence, like you would be like
it would just be incomprehensible.
Incomprehensible.
Like, so that's what I was gonna say. Like, the light is the end all be all. Like the thing you want the most. And if you were in purgatory, that would be salvation, right? Like heaven, right? Like the light could be heaven.
Wouldn't you think you would need to do something good to do that though? You know,
Not kill a seabird or like, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a testament of their will. You know what I mean? It's like maybe it's a test.
I don't know. I think it's just supposed to represent like.
Am I thinking too like?
No. I feel like that could definitely be an interpretation. I definitely see that for sure. But I'm just wondering like, what else could the light represent? You know?
Right. Because
I'm thinking
it might be a little bit more simple too. It might be like
but like. I don't know. It gets back to like all the sexual imagery too. It's like
he wants it so bad.
It's like he had the best nut ever.
Yeah,
the movie. You know what I'm saying?
From the loneliness, you know what I mean? It's like the ecstasy of like human intimacy.
It's like
intimacy.
It's like when you ain't been with a bitch in a minute.
Intimacy. You haven't been intimate in a long time. Like a bitch ain't even touch you, and then like all of a sudden a girl breathe next to you, and you're just like,
yes, I was just about to say that shit. Yeah.
You're full of cum is what it's called, I believe. Dumb and full of cum.
Right. That's why those semen retention dudes are next level.
Yeah. Balls full tank
at all times.
Full tank.
But anyways, I feel like that's what it is. It's like
the light is the end all be all, like the virginity, like the, you know what I mean, like the
it's like I don't even know how to explain it, but once he gets to it, he's like this is too much.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
He's like this isn't what I expected, you know.
And then he like busts in his pants. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you think? I think kind of like the old dude is supposed to represent like. This is kind of a hot take, but the old dude is supposed to represent. Fuck, why is this? No, never mind. I'm not even.
A tongue twister?
No. I'm not even gonna say it. It's too deep.
Is it?
Too deep.
Is it?
No, I just don't want this to become a religion pod. It's just getting creepy.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I was gonna say the old dude is like God, right?
Right. It is getting creepy. Ugh.
Because he's always being like, "Hey, don't do that shit. You're not working hard enough," you know.
Right.
And the dude is just like, "Hey, I'm just living. I'm just doing my thing."
Is he mankind? Is he like?
And he's mankind.
Okay.
And then God keeps being like, "Hey, you don't want these secrets.
You don't like my cooking. You don't like my gifts to you. You know what I mean? The earth,
right.
the Bible. You know what I mean? I gave you word for word what you need to do, and you know what I mean?
And then right.
And he just wants to sin anyways.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And then you know how like in Adam and Eve, he's like, "Don't eat the fucking apple. You don't need to know what the apple brings," type shit. You know,
Don't kill the bird.
Right. It's the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, like the seabird.
No, don't go up in the fucking lighthouse.
Oh, this lighthouse is the fucking forbidden fruit.
Right.
The light is the forbidden fruit.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right. The old dude is God.
It's the apple.
Right. And the old dude is God. He's like, "Don't do that shit.
Yes.
Only I can."
Because he's been around and he's just like,
he's like, "Bro, only I know what's up there. Don't do that shit." And then,
do you think he was jerking it up there?
Who knows what he was doing up there? But he was like, "Don't go up there. Like, you don't." Every time he brought it up, he was like, "No, shut that shit down real quick."
Okay. Devil's advocate. Imagine you're in Adam and Eve's shoes or Robert Pattinson's shoes. Mm-hmm. You're mankind, and God tells you you can have everything you want except for this big, fucking, bright, like shiny golden apple. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can have everything except for this. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you want that thing so fucking bad?
Yeah, that's just
inherent
nature.
Desire.
It's human nature.
Really?
That's like.
And God created us, and He created our human nature, right? So like,
I mean, I guess so. But did we create our own human nature? Because God isn't necessarily human.
Manifest destiny.
No, I'm saying like Adam and Eve were the fuck. This is getting way too religious, but Adam and Eve were the fuck. But Adam and Eve were the first humans, right?
Yeah.
And so they were the first ones to be like, to have the inkling to be like, oh my God, like saying that's off limits. I want it.
He's hiding something from us.
So
Like, what is he hiding?
And we're all descendants of Adam and Eve, so they were the first humans that were creating what human nature is.
Right.
So all of our instinctual things inherently come from Adam and Eve.
Allah.
Quote unquote. Fuck. Let's get off this topic. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap up Lighthouse.
What do you think about Skeet and Yay?
Wait. We gotta wrap up Lighthouse.
Okay.
We gotta give it a rating.
Segue.
We gotta give it a rating.
Okay.
We already said some of our favorite parts. We gotta give it a rating.
1 out of 10.
Gotta give it a rating. Out of 10? I would give it a 7.8. No, 8. It's an 8. Solid 8.
Fair enough. I was gonna say like a 9. 9.
I thought it was really good.